welcome and a very warm good morning to all of you. Charged light bulb good morning. And with that, I want to say that we have already read the context of this session. But I want to remind you, I want to recollect one sentence from Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison, the inventor of light bulb, said, "I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work," before he made the light bulb. Thomas Edison is said to have made thousands of light bulbs that didn't work before he managed to invent a light bulb that worked. हम सभी अपनी लाइफ में स्ट्रगल करते हैं with constant failure. He chose to have a different perspective. He chose to persevere. What was that? जहां से वो फेलियर को लेके वापस उसको सक्सेस में कन्वर्ट उसने किया. Where is that mental reservoir of strength? वो कहां पर है जो which people need to call on in times of need to carry them forward into their lives, into successes. So in difficult times, it can be very hard to stay positive and find our balance. Now, being resilient helps us, protects us by getting too overwhelmed with stress, predicts our well-being, and protects us from mental health difficulties. So today, we took on this personal growth topic of resilience and understanding it, the reasons about it. We have with us a very special person. She's a friend, and that may I just welcome Sabrina Flora Brito Hugard, who is a pro-life therapist. Sabrina has had a very early calling to helping people. As a young adult, she began working with children to assist them navigate their emotions, helping them resolve traumatic situations. In the process of these experiences, it dawned on her that life constantly puts you in a spot. Hence, she pursued her studies through the holistic approach and developed practical life skills. She works as a pro-life therapist in Mangalore, helping you resolve your past baggage, teaching you life skills to be resilient and live in a zone of excellence. She lives in Mangalore with her husband, a Danish gentleman, who works as a consultant in the wellness field. Both of them are considered pioneers in the wellness field, and she had been the founder of this very, very prominent spa called the Serena Spa, and down south. Their office is in a very old colonial house, 110 years old, and very interestingly, Sabrina's pets in the city include 4 cows, 6 goats, 2 emus, 2 dozen chickens, and 2 dachshunds. So she is certainly a nature lover and a spiritualist. Over to you, Serena. Please share some wisdom. Please tell us your experiences about resilience.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. I must admit that I would like to go back to what Gitanjali said about Thomas Alva. Why did he succeed? And what did he do to succeed in his desire to create this? Now, I look at the screens, I can see aspiration in all the faces that I see, because we all want to be in a better place than we are now, even if we are in a good place. Simply because somewhere at the back of our minds and deep in us, deep in us, we sense that life can offer much more, and we are here to benefit of that and enjoy of it. I kiss you back, Uttara.
Oh, love you.
So it's interesting that every time we say, we say something, we say it's at the back of my mind. And does anyone know why? Because our brain. Anji.
क्योंकि वहां पे छोटा दिमाग होता है.
Okay, so chota dimag kya hai? Anatomically, scientifically, जो हम touch कर सकते हैं या dissect कर सकते हैं, वो क्या है?
Is that a slow brain or primitive brain
Primitive brain.
or a
It's the
subconscious?
original brain. It's the reptilian brain that experiences only two emotions. There is nothing else there. It has senses. We all know we have 5 senses, and we know that we can hear, see, brighter, dimmer, louder, softer, nearer, farther, hot, cold, sweet, sour, all these things. Smell also. And what did Thomas do when he wanted to make this light bulb? He made sure he recognized, accepted, and registered these are things that don't work. So we got to put them away. They may be good for someone else, but they're not good for me right now here, for where I want to go, for this journey that I am on. He put them away. And he said, what else can I do? And so in the process of seeing what else he could do, his understanding comes from the primary back brain when it comes to his emotions, because he had a desire to create something. And he said, when the bulb works, I will know it works because I will see the light. I know I can put it on, I can put it off. I know that when I see light, I will see things around me better. When I see things around me better, I will start feeling safer in the dark, more comfortable in the dark. There is a convenience. This is all the matter of sensing. So, in the process of that, and in bringing it to where we are wanting a light bulb in our life, you can come to me, I'm a therapist, and I will say, okay, let me say, I see a country cousin here, Renita Lobo. And Renita Lobo says, oh, I was so traumatized when my grandfather died and I can't get over it. And I'd say, okay, Renita, I can help you to discharge the trauma of your grandfather's death. And I can put in there another emotion, for example, an emotion of love. But then the question will be, Renita's driving to the airport and there's a nasty accident and she sees another death. Is she resilient enough not to bring back all that past charge? That is the meaning of resilience. I know I need to do something for a situation that's not productive, and I know that that something is this thing. That is resilience. Because today is a lovely morning. Wherever you are, I can see for those on the video, it's a lovely morning. But tomorrow can be a stormy, floody, cyclone, Christ knows what not. But even there, why does positivity not work, but resilience work is? Let's say that Shazadi, where do you live?
Bangalore.
Bangalore.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's raining in Bangalore.
Yes.
People are flooded.
Yes.
Yeah. So Shazadi cannot phone her friend who is in another part of Bangalore and say, hey, you know what, Aruna? Thank God it's only raining and it's not an earthquake. At least you can sit on your bed and put your legs up. Or I'm going to be even more positive. You can sit on your bed, put a table, put a chair on the table and sit right on top. Your feet are not getting wet and you're safe. Now, does positivity work at that point? It cannot work or need not work because Aruna's mindset may be something else, right? So resilience is with you, with me, with anybody who desires to have it. In my perception and my experience of 20 years of working as a pro-life therapist, from people out of the Prime Minister's office to people who do construction work, or children of people who do construction work, is when you know what to do at that time. And if I am allowed to go back to the point of our Indian origin of the science of yoga, where they ask us to balance our body through exercises, and they ask you to do meditation. What is the reason you do meditation? The first life skill that all of us should know is, how do I discharge? Like Thomas, hey, these materials don't work, this formula doesn't work, so I'm leaving it aside. I've learned from that. So I learn on a daily basis, ideally twice a day, to discharge. Because what is emotion? Does anyone have a description for emotion?
It is energy in motion, as
Right.
one of our super leaders calls it.
It's absolutely right. So it's not still. It's not still. And anything moving picks up charge. So when it picks up charge, let's say that this is my lifeline. Let's say that this is my lifeline. I was born here, I'm here, and I don't know what else is going to happen in this part of my life. So here, at the age of 3, for example, I'm 55 now. At the age of 3, I saw a black cat that ran up the steps and climbed up the curtain. Only out of fear, the cat ran up. But in my mind, I created a perception that this cat has come to attack me. The sub perception of that is, most cats or all cats that run up a steps come to attack. All black cats are dangerous. All black cats are dangerous. Now, these are things that I have created from this portion of my brain, the neocortex, because I added a structure and a plan and an intention and whatever, and a meaning to it. My meaning, not everybody else's meaning, my meaning. So every time, I'm 15 years old here, every time I see a black cat, my emotion runs back 12 years, picks up the charge, and all the sub times I've seen a black cat and comes here with a stronger intensity. So if I've not resolved it by the time I'm 25 and have X number of situations, that emotion can be discharged. It began with discharge, but it ended up with discharge. There are various factors to it. That's another subject on how we unconsciously pick up things. Hence, I developed certain life skills from various modalities. I call myself a brief therapist because I am blessed with the ability, I'm blessed with the knowledge of a fantastic science cocktail, and I'm blessed with the ability to know what to pick up to help a particular client. And through that, I developed self skills, life skills, which help you to constantly discharge and then put in another resource, an uplifting resource, that which is like a fountainhead to help you. So that is what resilience is. So the importance of resilience is that I'm able to discharge and arm myself with what I need to go forward. I do something differently, or I may do the same thing with a clearer, cleaner intention. Yes? And how do you deal with traumas and how do you deal with stress? What is stress?
When you're not able to achieve, when you're not able to, you expect something and it's not coming to you, you're stressed, or you're not able to perform.
Okay. Okay, so you first said the end goal, you spoke about the end result, and then you spoke about where you are. So stress is what you're experiencing now.
Yes.
There is no stress of yesterday. There is a memory of the fear of yesterday. There is stress right now. Will I be on time for this meeting? I woke up, the first thought is Gitanjali today. Oh my God, Gitanjali, you know? And my husband said, it's 3 hours before you see Gitanjali. Yeah. And what is anxiety? Anxiety is, I have an event today. I have 2 events today because it's Children's Day. I have 2 events. My thought is, will I be on time? Will I be able to do what I have to do? I think about the problems that will come or the situations that will come. I start adding fear to the situations of later on. My stress is, will I be making sense? Will I be leaving a value to all the people this morning, 40 people on 39 people on the screen by me spending 1 hour with them? That is stress. At this point, what you experience, it's fear. It's
Good
the fear.
morning. So,
Will I do? What will happen? This, that is the present. So how do you deal with stress or fear or anxiety? I go back to the reptilian brain. When you were a little child and in your mother's womb, when you were a little fetus in your mother's womb, or if you see today, we are lucky to see the sonography of kids in the womb, you either have them floating in this, or you see something like this. So what is the opposite of fear? What is the opposite of fear?
Self-expression,
I beg your pardon, sir.
freedom or self-expression,
In a way,
boldness.
you're very right. Those are the
Bold.
tools to reach the opposite of fear, which is bliss. There is fear and there is bliss. Many scientists, many courage, yes. Many psychologists, healers, practitioners of different modalities say that it's fear and it's love. Love is the tool to reach the state of bliss. Am I making sense to you? Can I have a thumbs up for that or no? Yes, only 1, 2. Okay, I can have a digital thumbs up. Alrighty, that feels better. Yes, so you got to love to go to a state of bliss, because bliss cannot be achieved. Something has to happen for you to be frightened. But I can love, which is verb. I can be compassionate, that is verb. I can be caring, but I can't be I can't be blissful, but I am blissful. I can't do blissful things. I can't do fear, but I feel fear. I feel bliss. I experience it. So, I mean, I know that for those of you who've done many sciences, we have lots of gurujis and so on and so forth who say things like that. But if you really sit down and sit back, and which I've achieved over the last few years, people do agree that love is this dynamic tool to take you to bliss. Why do you do yoga? Why do you do japas? Why do you live on earth in a good life? Why do you take care of your health? Or any of these things is ultimately to reach this state of bliss. And we know what it is because we have come in from bliss. Every time we were there in our mother's womb, floating like that, not knowing what on earth was happening, just feeling warm and comforted or whatever, that was bliss. Another dynamic state of bliss, and I understand everybody here is above 18, Gitanjali.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So another dynamic state of bliss, which many of us have experienced, if not all, is the moment of orgasm in sex. There are no words to describe that. You can write books and volumes and scripts about how to have the act of sex, but you cannot describe what it is when you are in that orgasm. So bliss is that, but I can tell you how to love somebody. I can say, touch the person, open your heart, reach out through them through energy, say a prayer for them. Every time you see them, just imagine that from your heart, you can give them love. So have I made myself clear to you about love as a tool and the state of bliss? Alrighty. And trauma. You need life skills to solve your bliss. One of the easiest life skills is breathe really into your belly. You can do all the aspects of breathing. You know, you imagine that you have this rhythmic breathing, that your body is like an accordion. It opens and closes, including your cells, including the bone marrow. All breathe in harmony and back in synchronicity, back to out, in. And it's amazing how you will reach a state of equanimity and make the best decision that you can make at that given time. Trauma. What is trauma?
Trauma is very hurting.
Okay. So trauma, what's the difference? I'll give you a general description between trauma and grief, and I will tell you why I'm taking this time here.
But
Trauma. Yes.
trauma is not only when somebody's death. It can happen with different situations also. No?
Yes.
It is deep hurt also.
Yes. Yes. It
Yeah.
causes deep hurt. So trauma is an, oh my God, situation with fear. Okay. And grief is, I cannot do anything more. I have so much more, but I cannot do anything more.
You feel incapable, insufficient.
In both situations, you feel incapable, insufficient of resources. But the difference is the fear grips over you in a trauma that after the trauma, when you live, you have, as the Gitanjali said, it is emotion and energy in motion. You keep piling on. In grief, it's just churning there. Yeah. So if fear is one thing and the opposite of fear is bliss, what could you put in there to heal a trauma? The biggest tool that all of us are given, love.
Gratitude.
You can't be grateful you have this experience when you have this charge there, no? In hindsight, I can be grateful for all the people who came to me when I had a trauma. Love and compassion, yes. That's right. Yes, fear blocks your vision. Fear blocks many things. Fear blocks all your 5 sense organs. And fear causes confusion among your sense organs. So what happens is, let's take the 3 main sense organs, VAK, visual, auditory, kinesthetic. So what you feel, what you see, what you hear. When you have fear overriding the power of what you are comprehending, because we have a brain, what we are comprehending, then you may be hearing some aspect of the trauma and seeing another aspect of the trauma, okay, which gets mixed and confuses your original state of what you're feeling. And those situations, you hear people say, I can't remember. I'm blanked. People will say, I'm out of here. Darwaza kholo, mujhe bahar jana hai. Because it is so confusing that they cannot comprehend. Then they feel suffocated. Then they feel, breathless. Then they go into hyperventilation. And all this can happen like this. So stress is one thing, trauma is another thing. Usually stress is caused from this person, Sabrina, while trauma can be caused for this person, Sabrina, from an external aspect of the environment. There needs to be an incident for a trauma, but there need not be an incident for stress.
So Sabrina, are you saying there has to be a trigger for trauma? So are you saying there is no trigger for stress? Can you clarify that?
Yes. So there is not a matter of a trigger. There is a trigger for stress, but there is an event for trauma.
Prina, when a student, he fails in his exams and he commits suicide. So what is that? Is that he is traumatized?
So may I answer you that question last? I will answer you the question, but let me finish this because that's a different tangent to the whole objective of this talk. But I will address that to you last, okay? So a trauma, okay, what is trauma? Fire, accident. Yeah. Death is not trauma. Life after death is traumatic because of the influences that have, but death per se is grief. So we have another problem with us is in this present, all of us who are living on earth and above the age of say 7 or 5, we have forgotten to use the correct word for the correct expression, which goes back to me wanting to tell you to live in the zone of excellence. You need to have a good interpersonal relationship to Sabrina. So what I mean by that, from the point of representation, only from the point of representation, I'm showing you my arm. When I was 3, I saw the cat. When I was 7, I had a truck accident. When I was 14, I had bad teeth. They plucked it out. There wasn't enough good doctors and equipment. It was bad. It was terrible. I will not sit on a dental chair, blah, 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 blah. Now, up to the age of say 12, 14, the person who used to describe what I was feeling was not the Sabrina, but it was her mummy, daddy, uncle, so and so. They spoke from their own back of the mind and brain of what they had not dislodged. Hence, they were not able to express what I'm feeling, but put in a comprehension of what I'm saying to what they're seeing to their own past experience to say it. Therefore, words like trigger, cue, trauma, stress, they all get intermingled. Now tell me, may I have by a show of hands, how many of you agree with me on the difference of stress and trauma? Yeah. Electronic hands also will help and make me feel good. Okay, thank you. Yes. So you see, just go back yesterday, day before, 1 week ago. Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you, Vikas. Go back 1 week ago and see how in your own ability to understand, even though you had sensed it absolutely correctly, you used your neocortex with the structure of language to intermingle what it was instead of giving it defined clarity. And the other thing is, I go back to the center of our brain, which is our herd mentality, our mammalian brain, our nurturing thing. We have been so traumatized, stressed, have carried baggage into here and now at this moment. Many of us, I'm not saying all, or have not shed as much as we could have shed because of lack of opportunity of various resources. That we tend to say, Chaya says, I feel so bad. And then I'll be talking to her and say, yeah, Chaya, every time this happens, I feel so bad. So I create a universal energy of something that is not yet clear. While the universe has to flow in this, I am causing this confusion to take place. And that's why they say, for those of you who believe in astrology, that this 2020 to 2030 is the most riotous 10 years of our living life. Because we have to clean the energy. Now, once you learn to use life skills and your baggage, which is this big, even if your baggage is this big and this is the overload coming on it, the mobile phone is a representation of what is happening to you here and now as in always, you will notice that as you keep clearing yourself of this baggage that you have, of what is loading on top, as you keep clearing the baggage of what is loading up, and instead of having such a big phone, you reduced it for today so much, and then you've reduced it to the tissue size tomorrow because you're using life skills. Even the old bag, which has all its nonsense that you don't want. I'm calling it nonsense because you don't want it, not from judgment point of view. You will see that this bag also becomes smaller and smaller and smaller and literally can get empty. And that's when you operate from what Vipassana calls the zone of equanimity or scientists call the zone of excellence. So when you're standing at that zone, it's the safe, sturdy, strong, supporting platform. And you're able to see, hear, feel, smell, and taste all that is going on, even if it is not in the uplifting mode. Even if you are in an area or environment filled with negativity, you are still able to make the best decision, because there you see all the options that you have at that point to make the best decision. And that is why, because you have no more fear. The bag is emptier. I'm not saying wait for the bag to be completely empty. You have built neurotransmitters to say, hey, I have to reach this place. I have to reach this place. I have 5 minutes and I have a flat tire. So I have, what are my options? Versus saying, oh my God, I got to reach there. What will they do? It will go late. And nobody's productive. There is only fear to fear to fear to fear to fear. You know, fear exponentially added, because everything that we go with, oh my God, is fear. Versus, oh my God, how wonderful. That's a different tone. So you can also use your voice. Like, I'll tell you something. I've developed an attitude to be a little crack. Because, you know, when you do things in fun, if you want to build a new habit, do it 20 times with fun and it will be your imprint. If you do not do it in fun, you will need to repeat that more than 440 times. If your kids come to you and say, Mama, Papa, what shall I do? Say, have fun. And they'd say, no studies. I said, no, have fun studying. No eating veggies, have fun eating veggies. Fun doesn't mean that you give up your work and go to do something. That is a distraction fun. But fun can be in your life as in here and now. So I'm not positive and say, oh, only one tire got spoiled this. I tell somebody, I managed to get somebody, which is one of the greatest blessings that I've had ever since I dropped my fear. I can be on the highway through a Naxal area. Okay, and I'll have a flat tire in the middle of that darkness. I'll say, okay, half an hour I'll drive before sundown, but by the time I've realized it's a flat tire, some Naxal will come. And they will be this namaste. I say, namaste. Can't tell you there are butterflies in my stomach. I'm not pretending that there are none. But he'll say, Amma, what happened? I say, I'm driving to that village, but I have a flat tire. If you help me, I can remove the tire, because sometimes the tire is, down in these fancy cars that you need to yank it up, which I cannot do. Yeah. And then I will have fun with him. It may be something stupid. I say, see how funny this nut is, so funny, no? Otherwise, the nuts are like that. It could be something so silly. But that's when you have fun as a tool and love as a tool, then compassion, grace, joy, abundance will flow. And you can take my last drop of blood to this. So keep your fear in a nice little box. It's good to have fear because it's a lovely quality controller. It's also like your critical mind. Fear comes through the critical mind. That's another day, but not right now. However, now do you have any questions? Yes, being crazy works. Wear 2 different earrings if you're going to work with kids. They're going to be say, teacher, you wore 2 different earrings. I said, really? No. Yes, teacher. Okay. Should I change? Shall I keep it for today? Finished. Rapport, build students under your. Yes. Yes, Shnezna. Shana. Shashi. Shahzadi. Shahzadi, yeah.
I just wanted to ask you, like you said, 20 times we have to do it. So does that mean like different things 20 times or like one particular thing 20 times?
Okay, let me give you a classic example of most of us today, barring a few. We all need to exercise. Yeah. And sorry, I can't do it. I may have a personal trainer, I may have a gym, I may have a gym at home, but it's so what I picked up is okay, I say, okay, come on, let's make a song. Okay. So I started singing the song saying, I'm so sexy. Sex is oozing out of me. I'm so fit. I can carry that mango tree. Next time there's a log on the road, I'm that superwoman helping those weak boys. So started singing those situations. So I put it in a song. Of course, from the raga mantra point of view, singing is fantastic. Yeah. So you see how you see what I mean by fun. This is exactly what you're experiencing there. You have a boss that's irritating. I mean, I had a boss that was irritating. I loved him, but he was so irritating because he loved me too. So I started calling him a Manganna, as a monkey uncle. Yeah. And I remember one of the colleagues whom I didn't like, but today we are, as his wife and my husband say, we should have been lovers. He says, I don't know what's with the two of you, how you all can think for each other, see for each other. One is in Kashmir, one is in Kanyakumari, still you have a connection. This is another thing of love and losing fear. Your senses, because your reptilian brain has two emotions lodged in there. Then you know this sense of abundance. Why doesn't law of attraction work? Because you've lodged in fear, you've not dissolved it. Hence, you can't operate out of the zone of excellence. Okay, so this guy came to me and I said, what are you doing? And I said, you know what? I'm writing a love letter for Mangana. I was writing a draft letter. And he said, wait. I said, you know, those days we had to type on the computer and print it out, right? So I'd say, I'm kissing it. Now, please go and give it to Mangana. And sometimes there'd be lipstick marks and David would call me and say, what is this? You've sent a boat to the board meeting, you've sent things with lipstick marks. So I'm not saying fun as in, you know, remember that going out for a drink, going out to the disco, doing a Diwali party, doing all this those are tools to have fun. By themselves, they are terrible tools if not used with the right intention. We end up eating too much, we end up drinking too much, we gossip too much, we bring home negative energy, we go into our bed without a shower bath, we carry the negativity into our bed. Next morning, your husband smells worse than he smells otherwise, all because of someone else's energy. So resilience. What are the life skills? I'll teach you the most simple life skills. Just checking on the time. Okay.
We have 10 more minutes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Sabrina, we have at least 10 minutes, so you have good time.
Thank you. So the first and the most important life skill is breathe. You're sitting to start your car, breathe. Add love to that breathing, add healing to the breathing. Jo chahiye, add to the breathing.
I'm sorry, Sabrina, I think Sondarima had a question. She has a raise her hand up.
I'm sorry, I didn't see that.
Yeah, just before you
Please.
went to the next topic. Thank you.
May I hear that question, please?
Yeah. How do you replace fear with love? For example, you said about the cat. You were scared about the cat and it went on increasing. How do you replace that fear with love?
So
And
in
Sabrina,
my
I'll just add to this. My daughter has an extreme fear, the littlest one, of rats. For whatever reason, I don't know. Extreme means like she'll crazily shout. So just, yeah.
So in your daughter's case, Gitanjali, what we have got to identify, which I identified in my own life, if I saw a rat, I who could catch a cobra would run. There are times I have run away with a rat snake in my hand and people have laughed no end. Then I was able to dissect it. Once I told you how fear causes confusion, how when you have fear and what you see, what you smell, what you taste, all becomes a jumble. It doesn't remain a biryani, it becomes a khichdi. Yeah. So you got to identify in your daughter, what is it about rats that she doesn't like? Is it the sight? Is it the perceived smell? Is it the sense of the rat running on her, the fear of the rat running on her? Or
Yeah,
what?
somebody told her an incident exactly of this.
Yeah. Now tell her, try and see. This is a bit of therapeutic thing. We have to get her to rise above. I am fearing the rat. But the fear of the rat was experienced by this Sabrina. This Sabrina. So I disassociate that. You need a therapist. I can help your daughter even on Zoom to do that. You disassociate yourself from who's experiencing it now to who experienced it then. One of the reasons why counseling doesn't work is they say to you, okay, tell me what happened. So every time you're telling them what happened, you are charging and charging and charging them. Therapists today have changed a lot because you cannot heal the incident, but you can heal the state that is caused by that incident. So how can you use love to dissolve fear? If your little baby was crying or your grandchild is crying, what do? You don't sit that child down and lecture the child. Am I right? You cajole the child. When the child is calm, you talk sense to the child, not here. The first thing that we do when children are suffering is crying or something, particularly crying, discomforted, whatever. One of the things we do holding them here is we say, it's okay. Theek hai, beta, theek hai. So we are validating and allowing them to accept that this is happening to me. Theek hai, beta. It's gone, it's gone. Theek hai, theek hai, theek hai. Right? So we need to give them a validation. But you cannot give them a validation and say, theek hai, abhi ho gaya na, abhi bas karo, mat ro. It's not going to work. Hence love. Hence love is a tool. Your grandmother, if you're looking after your grandma or your aunt who's ill and has a fall, and you'd say, Auntie, it's okay. You're okay now. It's okay you had a fall. I'm sitting with you. And we touch that part. If she has fallen and hurt her elbow, we touch that part, right? This is a way of giving love. Now, this is just the periphery, the fringe. Yeah, it requires, how does one deal with trauma? Similar way, but if it's a large trauma, if it's something that causes nightmares, causes other habits that are derogative to the person, please take the person to a therapist or a counselor or I don't know if you want a psychiatrist here, but go to a therapist or a counselor first before going to a psychiatrist. I'm going to open the chat.
Hello.
So, yes.
I want to say one thing. I love to hear that word first time, neurotransmitter. So first time I listen this word, and will you? There is a method to how to count this neurotransmitter.
Yes. Rajesh, did you ask me the question, sir? I don't know who
I
asked.
heard the neurotransmitter.
Yeah. So neurotransmitter.
There is a unit or how to count. There is a method or how to count.
Candace Perth, I'll just give you a little brief for your research to understand it. Candace Perth was the first scientist who said there are neurotransmitters all over the body. Therefore, even if you hurt your arm or your leg or your chest or your back, it heals. Until then, people used to think that neurotransmitters were only in the brain. But neurotransmitters is that which causes your habit. And how does it cause your habit? I'll go back to a science of NLP where your past impressions, your value systems, your beliefs, your attitude, your environment, your family, okay, that causes an internal state after the input has come in from your five senses. A state is created. That state then comes down to building a behavior. So when a trauma has occurred, I cannot change the trauma. I cannot change the trauma, but I can change this state. Because if this state is so tight and fighting, then you cannot be at ease. But if I release the anxiety, this fear of this stress, and allow it to mingle in the correct way, then this state is changed, and so my behavior changes.
Thank you so much, Sabrina.
Yes.
So we were talking about the life skills. It would be wonderful. A lot of people are asking if you could continue and
so
wrap up
one of
with
the
life skills.
primary life skills is breathe. You're sitting here, take a deep breath. Are you are not doing anything? Please breathe. It's free. And ways of breathing, there are a million. Follow the yoga system. Follow another guy called Wim Hof, Wimhof. Follow him for those of you who have acidity. Wim Hof, yes. Follow Wim Hof. Do all the yoga breathings. And in breathing, please remember to breathe out a little more than you have breathed in. Because our body is a biochemical mass, and that also produces gas. Chemical reactions also produce gas. So breathe out. Yeah. I'll teach you a simple one. Rajesh, so I didn't answer your one question. You cannot measure it by any way, but you can see it through your behavior. And you can see it through the intended journey that you're having towards your goal. The stronger your neurotransmitter, the faster and better your results. And neurotransmitters are of a zillion things. It can be that I'm able to love. I built a neurotransmitter to reach out and love people after a traumatic experience. Breathe. The other one is just imagine, just sit here, all of you. You can close your eyes or keep your eyes open, and just imagine that you can increase your heart energy. That your heart energy is just increasing slowly with a light white pink color. And at the same time, you experience something like a golden rain coming down from your divine entity or the universe or heaven. And it's filling your body with love, and you are expanding your heart. And your heart is expanded to overshadow your shoulders. And now you realize your heart is 5 times the size of your body. And you're working and living out of that energy of your heart, which is extended 5 times in all directions of your body. And as you like it, and if you like it, double that to 25 times. And now when you have to talk to a child who's not studying, please tell the child with this expanded heart energy all the information you want, because from this zone of excellence, one of the pillars of excellence, from this zone of excellence, you can speak your truth with compassion.
I got.
Breathe it. Breathe it. Another life skill I'd like to tell you is, you may open your eyes. Thank you. Seema, I'm coming to you. Another life skill I'd like to tell you is, every day, validate what happened for you in your life. 5 minutes. I had this incident with someone. I received a call from Gitanjali and I felt so good. We connected after 2 months. Validate that. Because in validation, you have acceptance on the foundation level, and on the higher level, you have celebrations. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, goody girl, you look so pretty today. Ha, you got all the energy for the day. Hey, you've come back home with so much of energy. Start sharing this with your family members. Say, you know, I'm doing this. So I'm going to tell my husband that, honey, you look fabulous tonight. So you have two people with a good resonance, similar resonance, lying in bed. As that gets stronger, it gets bigger. Please validate, and please celebrate. Your kids or grandchildren may be too busy to say, Mommy, Daddy, you're looking fantastic today. Your sari is so pretty. But look at yourself and say, hey, I look so good. That sari is so pretty. It compliments me. Celebrate. Yes, Seema, for the last question, we have 6 minutes.
Yeah, it's not a question, but I believe, as I came to know, that whatever the emotion or feeling which we have in our conscious mind, if it goes deep down in the subconscious mind, it becomes 600 times, right? Or 600,000 times, something like that, which I've heard. So, I mean, when it remains in that deep state under a subconscious mind, that becomes as a fear, trauma, anxiety, and which we are not able to overcome. Then that state of mind, we have to remove it by affirmation or by just repetition of all that. That you have to. I mean, you're happy, you're celebrating life, and all that. Is that true?
Okay, so you're right. You know, if I were your school teacher, I would give you 45 marks. And okay, Seema's a good girl. She always says good morning to me. So I'm going to give her 50 marks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So you're on the right track. So congratulations. Validate that and celebrate that, but add a little more excellence to it. You clearly said it's from my conscious mind. It can also come from an unconscious mind, which is what trauma is.
Yeah.
Because nobody says, I want trauma, but it just happens. That's the unconscious imprint. So the unconscious imprint is further imprinted on the unconscious. And the conscious imprint that is imprinted on the unconscious, I have no measure to it, but there are some people who do energy sensing, like good Swamijis and yogis and siddhas, who say that, yes, it is 600 times more powerful. Now, my point is, even if it is 1 time more powerful than what it is, it's brilliant. However, it should be in the uplifting mode, not in the downgrading mode. Yeah. So this way, you can imprint a whole lot of things. But when you add fun, you unconsciously have a tendency, because the nature of fun is to go towards something progressive and creative or uplifting.
Yes.
Yeah. And why affirmations don't work? Affirmations don't work at times because they are fear logged. You say, I want to be strong, but at the back of your mind, you still have the sense of fear. And maybe in the front of your mind, through your senses, you have the pictures of the fear running away.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell that fear and everything, it's okay. It's okay. Your time is over. Negotiate with that and say, Ja na beta, ja. Go down into the earth.
Bargain bhi kar sakte hai na?
बागेन की जरूरत नहीं, डायरेक्शन दे दो. बागेन में कुछ लेना देना होगा ना. So here you say, go down to the earth. This is another life skill. I have this anxiety here. I send it right down to the core of Mother Earth, where there is this gorgeous river of eternity flowing, silver and gold. All the rocks are diamonds and emeralds and sapphires, and everything gets converted to universal love and goes and reaches everyone.
Yes, thank you.
So Sabrina, I'll just, from the lack of time, paucity of time, this is just so experiential what you just said and did. And I'm sure everyone wants 1 hour more. We have just 5 minutes, and I'd require everyone's permission to extend it by another 5 minutes, please. And I would like my partner, super leader Darshana, to please say the vote of thanks to Sabrina. This has been phenomenal, and we would love you to have you back in this session, another session with you. This is not enough. And any questions, please post it on the group, so we'll post it to Sabrina directly.
Yeah. Hi, Sabrina. Good morning one more time. And it has been, so wonderful to listen to you. Really, really acknowledge you for the work that you're doing. Gitanjali has always spoken very highly about the way you are in your life and to everybody. And really, really thank you for who you are, for the community, for the children, and all of that. So just excuse me, guys. There's some. Okay, fine. So, and each one of you, like there were around 44, 45 people listening to you, Sabrina. So I'm sure you touched everybody's life. And as Gitanjali said, we would want you to be, with us one more time. So Gitanjali will take your time and, please be with us. The second thing is like there are so many questions. Chaya, you have a question. Then, Sondima, we want to take the discussion. We have a heart-to-heart group, Sabrina, where we Plan to Win community, we engage. So there are people who are actively engaged in Plan to Win work, where we are creating life management systems. And those who want to, know more about Plan to Win and not there in the Heart to Heart group, I'm going to quickly put the link. Kindly join there. So Sabrina, I really want to thank you, and really you have given us wonderful takeaways. For me, the life skills have been really phenomenal, the way you have connected to the universe and to the power of the universe. So Sabrina, is that all that, or you want to add some more life skills to it? Because you've mentioned about 3 or 4. Is there a list or some document where we can go and read?
So I have to apologize to everybody that I have a shyness which I have not recovered from technology. 2022 is for 2021. You can congratulate me. I have already achieved every goal of my 2021. I had set it on January 1st, and last week I had checked and marked everything. In fact, I had done 4 things extra. Yes, thank you for that.
Congratulations.
Yes, 2022, I am going to be very active on this, but in the on social media, where I'll send the link to you folks. If you like to, you can join. We can work together. I am going to give you my number now, and that's it for now. I want to tell you that I run a platform for women called Solo Conversations. The name Solo, SOULO, means strength. It is a dynamic word. So it starts from being super strong and aggressive to the point of being graceful, but all with confidence and strength. That is only for women. I have a bias towards women because women have a special cause on earth, primarily from the point that we are nurturers. So if we nurture right, the world is a better place. I will share that number with you right now. Yes, that's it, Darshan.
Perfect. You really completed it. So you are, you're now going to be a part of this community where we are going to always engage with you. And thank you for doing such wonderful work through Solo. So once again, thank you, each one of you. Gitanjali, thank you for, creating this particular, domain of expert speak. So guys, each one of you who are new to this particular program, join Plan to Win Heart to Heart group every Saturday at 8 o'clock. We meet with some wonderful people who come and share their wisdom, and they're making our life better each day. So Sabrina, once again, thank you from Plan to Win community. And each one of you, we've extended for 2 minutes. So Gitanjali said 5, but we want to complete things on time. So here we go. We meet next Saturday, same time, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Thank you once again. Bye-bye. So the host can end the meeting. I'm not the host.
We'll just take 2 more minutes for people to join the link. I don't know if Shalaka, could you reshare the link again?
I will do it. Gitanjali.
Thank you. Sabrina, we'd love you to be in the community so that you can,
yes.
A lot of people want to get connected to you rightfully, Saundarima and so many people.
Yes.
If you're there, then it'll be very easy.
I'll join.
Reach out, and you're also, by the way, you talked about setting goals and achieving them. That's brilliant, because Plan to Win community is a very collaborative community, helping each other do that.
Yes.
And we have super leaders who are doing productivity trainings, who are doing visualizations in the morning, and fitness and yoga in the morning, cardio, all under one roof. So if you have dreams and goals for the next year, anybody, all of us here, I would advise you to join the December batch, upcoming batch. You can get in touch with any of us to know how to do that. It's a great warm up for the upcoming, turning a new leaf in 2022. And believe me, Sabrina, like you, all of us, a lot of us here have who have been absolutely averse to these technological things have got to know. As in fact, school teachers, vice principals, a friend, Ranju is here, Ranjudi. I don't know if she's here or not, but so many people have actually picked up all these skills within this program by running these sessions themselves and being on the leadership panels, councils. And so really looking forward to all of you being part of this very practical program for your life. Thank
Yes. I will join from Jan because I'm going into holiday in December, the whole month of December.
you. Yeah.
Wow.
Christmas, yes.
Yeah.
We
Sabrina.
could hear the chickens and all the
Yes.
animals on the farm, the
Yes.
birds. While you were talking, it was phenomenal.
Sabrina,
Yes, yes.
Sabrina, can you invite me to your house?
Please come now.
Uttara
I am joining Uttara.
All of you
doctor.
come. 6 bedrooms, plenty of places, and extra gajris for the floor.
Wow.
And to top it all, conversations with you, Sabrina.
Oh, come on. Let's have fun. Let's have fun.
That will be the best. Yeah, sure.
We must have a solo conversation for the Plan to Win community, all the people. That'll be wonderful.
All right.
Darshana, we'll probably look at that, one of these.
I'm really looking forward.
Yeah.
This is super.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you so
We are
much,
at
Sabrina.
9:05
Loved it.
and
Thank
you. People would have joined the link, and I thank you, all of you again. Be part of our open sessions every Saturday, and get in touch with us. Thank you. Have a great day.
Loads of
Thank
love,
you.
everyone. Thank you again.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Sabrina.